Yeah, we have a HR expert here, and I would like to pose the same questions to Mr. Harvard. Yeah, same thing on the unemployment rate. What is your view, and how does it actually impact SMEs to the unemployment rate matter, Mr. Harvard?
Okay, let me share my slides. It's true that the Department of Statistics Malaysia, up to April, they have came out with these statistics, and in fact, they have actually did some surveys and findings for all these companies, start from large to micro company, and these are some of the findings. I realized that you can see here, 76.6% salary payment is a large amount, which the SME, they are facing the challenges on this part. The most important challenges is a salary, meaning that is the headcount part. And at the same time, they need the most assistance is the finance. So we can see now that there's a contradict there. They need the finance to support the salary, but at the same time, the financial part and the subsidy part, some of the SMEs, especially some of my clients, they don't get it. So they have no choice, because you can see down there, in order for them to recover their business, they need to take at least more than 6 months, according to this survey from the Department of Statistics Malaysia. So you can see earlier when government give a lot of this kind of goodies to the SMEs, they just grab it, but they don't have direction, you know. They just want to take it for short term and for survival only. So now they start to realize, hey, we cannot just go one step at a time, you know. Now, a lot of SME bosses, they start to think, where should I go? How should I actually transform my business now? And that is how today what I say here, whatever they have is all based on their savings or for the past 3 months, 4 months. And now if their savings already dry up, now they have no choice. So what are the talents, competencies that I would like to share today will be on these 4 aspects. Okay, I'd like to share that a lot of talent in the organization, they just follow the bosses now, because the bosses now make a very quick decision. Whatever the government come out with the plan, then the boss will change. So a lot of our employees now, they are actually only experts, or we call it professionals in their own work. Okay, so they do not have the direction, they just go with their work. They only do their daily work and follow whatever the bosses do the changes. And some might even become employee champion now. They take care of the employees. We call it a heart count. Make sure everybody, the emotional bank account taken care well, because now income is not good. So you have to take care of the emotional aspect. But this can't be long term. What I'm thinking is the bosses now, of course, it's good to take all this subsidy or whatever that extra from the government. But I will say that a lot of SME bosses now, they are lost. So what they need to do is, they need to come up with their own new business model, or whatever that they need to restructure, they need to do it now. Because if they make it clear and transparent on this, then only they can build their people to change. And the core team, especially the managers, some of them are here, they need this so that they know where the boss want to go, and what is the milestones. Okay, for this 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, so that they can bring the people to do the change. And from there, I think with a very clear scientific way to calculate how is the sales going to come in, how is the milestone going to work out, then all this core team will be the strategic partner. But I would say that a lot of SMEs company, now a lot of their employees still at the expert and professional this level. So a lot of burden goes to the boss. So now the challenge is the boss need to now deliver the messages clearly and make everyone in the company know where he wants to go. And from there, he can bring the employees together to do the change and to be the strategic partner of the company. So I think this is a process that a lot of SME bosses need to go through. It depends, some can go very fast if your fundamental is strong, but a lot of SMEs, they don't have a lot of good system, don't have a lot of good mechanism in the organization, then they need to take time. But the key thing is, today I would like to suggest is, the boss need to know where he wants to go. Where is his next 1 to 3 years? Regardless of what or supports, you need to internally, actually, within your organization, create this milestone, your vision, your purpose, your mission that you want to move forward. I think that will be some key points for the entrepreneur here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Howard. Yeah, so yeah, it's a reshuffling time. So guys, if we are ready, we are going to be the number one. So Mr. Howard, as an employer, yeah, there seems to be a lot of things that we need to be mindful of. When I restructure, if I wanted to restructure, is there anything, any steps that Mr. Howard can actually share with us?
Today,
And then so that my participant can take note of it and walk home with it.
Yeah, very straightforward key points. Today, I just want to share how I did it with some of my clients. I think now, after looking into your business plan, you need to look into your organization structure. Can you see my slides?
Yes, can see your slide.
I think there are a few ways to look at your organization structure. A lot of times, why a lot of these SMEs, bosses, or currently a lot of companies decided to close down because of the very heavy headcount. They cannot sustain the payroll. So now, when they know their new business direction, they need to look into the structure as well. Meaning, some units they can combine. Horizontally, some department you need to combine. You don't have to have so many leaders or headcount. You can combine it to become one unit. And you have to delayer. You don't have to have so many hierarchical kind of structure. Now, certain layers you have to eliminate so that the boss can communicate faster to the frontliner. I think that is very important. Then, including you have to revamp your whole business unit. Some SMEs, I realized when they start to grow big, they create a lot of cost center, and the boss is the one who brings sales in. They don't have a lot of people doing sales or bringing the income in. So now the new business model, I think they have to change, looking into how can most of the department become a business unit to generate revenue, to generate income instead of only becoming a cost center. I think this whole organization structure need to revamp, bring all your core members or core team in and discuss, okay, together with the 3 years plans, okay. And of course, I think a lot of SME bosses, they do this a lot. When they have a lot of cash flow in the past, they will invest in other non-related business. And that is why the cash flow all dry up. So now they need to actually relook into their core business and close down all these non-core, non-performing division after this MCO. And this is the first part. The second part, I'm thinking we have to understand government give whatever, these are all called benefits, welfare. Similarly, in organization, I realize a lot of SME bosses are very kind. They like to give a lot of welfare and benefits to the employee. And that is why their overhead is high. So now they need to think back, how can I actually change all my criteria of giving employees the benefits to become performance-based or to increase their productivity? Then this can help the company in the long run, or instead of just only giving welfare and benefits, this is called the fixed cost. We change it to become the variable cost. I think this is the first part. You have to restructure your organization structure plus the compensation structure. And I see a lot of companies, they do this called they divide the department into 3 different areas. One is called the sales, one is the non-sales, meaning the office staff, and then one more is the technical experts. These departments, when they start to do the KPI, or we call it performance indicator, a lot of time we set it in a very rigid way. You only do your profession, you only do your areas. So when MCO happens, they have these challenges to cross over and help each other. So now the new model will be what? When we set this performance indicator, we should cross the functions, okay? And we should add one more thing called the business and financial acumen or transparency. Because SME bosses, a lot of time, only the figures in the head, only the boss know the profit, know the cost. A lot of time, the employees doesn't know. Even some up to manager level, they do not know what is the performance of the company. So now it's important, not only the employees need to reskill and learn all these business and financial kind of aspects, but the bosses also must be willing to be transparent enough to let them understand the situation of the company. I think this is the second point that I like to share. And a lot of time when we say reskilling, be careful. When the government now give us a lot of these subsidies for employee training, don't simply send our employees for whatever training. I think all trainings should follow the 70, 20, and 10 rules. What does this mean? 70 means on the job. Whatever the company have within the next 3 years, what is the plan? All the training should be aligned with the milestone and aligned with your plans. And you don't have to do a lot. You just have to do what relevant and what is necessary only. So that is the 70, we call it the 70% of the on the job. And the 20% means we need the leaders and we need the environment to support the employees on that. Then the 10% only, we get one or two experts to go and learn some new knowledge and bring them in. They become the trainer in the organization, will be much better because they understand the culture, they understand the system, they understand a lot of the procedure in the organization. So SME now have to learn. I know some of bosses like to give employees a lot of training, but now maybe you have to select the top 10%, let them learn from the outside and let them bring in and modify and customize suitable to your employee within your organization. That is a 70%. Okay, so I like to share on that. And lastly, this is the part that I want to share. Now the new way of working. Sometimes headcount is too high. You might change to use some temporary or contract employees. Okay, because during downtime, they are the one that you can actually based on contract or to terminate. And the second one would be how actually we should manage our employees working from home. I think that is a very important part, whereby there is a statistic from this Kazana research. During COVID-19, a lot of industry, they have moved, especially you say work from home. Okay, the blue color, a lot have moved working from home. But I would say that a lot, when they work from home, they are worried about one thing, the trust between employee and the bosses, whether they actually bring efficiency and productivity at home, or they just play games, or they just actually lost concentration. Okay, you cannot monitor them, don't know what they are doing. So a new performance-based kind of productivity should be there to actually monitor and actually to see the result of the employees. We can do a short-term one like what just now Agnes says, a 3 months OKR or objective and key results. Just 3 months base, 3 month base, so that if you want your employee work from home, they can actually evaluate through a quarterly basis based on 3 to 5 key results areas. The routine job or whether they punch card or don't punch card, I think that will become secondary when they start to work from home. Okay, so this will be the part that I want to share with you a few case study like Fujitsu. They have decided, okay, for the next 3 years, by step, they're going to stop most of the employee to change to become remote employees. And lastly, today I want to share is this. All this while we have a lot of these HR policies and manual. I think it's time for us to actually go through again and see whether you need to add on, you need to edit, or you have to totally all this. I think you have to actually restudy, especially if you want them to work from home. All these policies to be put into your company handbook, and we call this 4 measure. This one I think is a very important. Unexpected circumstances. I see a lot of my clients, when this happen, they don't have this clause, and it causes a lot of this misunderstanding among the employees. I think this is important now to put into your company handbook. In case of unexpected incidents or circumstances happen, these are the steps the company will take. Okay, your full pay, then half pay, then no pay, then VSS. I think these are all the things that you can actually put into your HR policies. And I would say that the HR role should transform from just doing administration and hiring, firing. Now HR should become a strategic partner with the bosses. We have to look at the new working models, and our performance management will be changed, including the compensation restructuring, and how actually we do all this. Don't forget, all this is about headcount, but the emotional bank account is still important. I think bosses need to do a lot of communication. This time, communication is very crucial. Either you use it Zoom meeting or either you do it face-to-face. I think this time the communication is about the direction of the company, the new business model of the company, the new performance criteria of the company, and the new reward system of the company. If you do this correctly, I think at least you're at the right track moving towards your next 3 years. I think that is what the few key points that I'd like to share. Pass back to this.
Wow, Teacher Howard, there's a lot of information there. I was copying down, but I just do a quick 30 seconds. Just now, I think Teacher Howard picked up something very good. At this time, we need to stay focused. We need to stay focused on our core. Not only on our core, on our successful core. Sometimes we have a weakness within whatever the principal activity that we do. We have to find that, the killer app. And then also we need to be very performance driven already, because work from home, you may not have a direct physical reach on your staff, right? And then the communication, top down communications, because things keep changing. You need to stay on things that is changes. And I'm surprised to see Mr. Howard touched on training, the 70, 20 and 10 rules. So this is going to change. I think HRDF probably will have issue now because a lot of time SME is like this. Oh, I got HRDF, please go to training. Use the HRDF. I think that mentality got to change as well today.
So I want to add on this. Actually, HRDF also encourage employers send your employees for training. So you have your own certified trainers within your organizations. They also can claim back the HRDF. It's the same thing. So it's not that if you send out for training, then you can claim the HRDF. Your HRDF claimable if you have your own trainer within your organization. So my 10% means you send these people go for the trainers. When they come back, they can customize and they can do the training programs suitable to your plans along to your align with your 3 years plans. I think that is important for SMEs.
Yeah. So you see, even the new normal actually changed how we actually operate the training and how shall our team be trained as well. I think the last bit is very, very important, the handbook, because I also in touch with Teacher Howard. I say I find my staff handbook no longer relevant. Like how do I actually move? If the status of the employee is to change, how do I actually move? My handbook doesn't provide that. How it become a work from home, how it become a flexi work, how it become a contract, how it become a freelancer. There is nothing in the handbook that is actually providing that. So doing business nowadays, other than I have money in hand, I also have to look into all these things. And then the account, the bank account, the emotional bank account and the financial bank account of HR is actually totally different as well. Last question, Mr. Howard. Looks like under the current setting and moving forward, to come out from the pandemic and to really, really sell further, we need to have the right set of staff. Working from home is difficult to control performance. I think most employers realize that. Can you share with us what kind of staff calibers is the right fit for an organization? When come to this current situation we are having?
This is also the question I like most. Selecting the right candidate, we always say there's 4 quadrants that I like to share in a very short manner, so that now you need to restructure your organization, when you revamp your structure, when you do a new compensation plan, you plan your 3 years business model. I think this is very important. We call it the first one, high alignment and high results. We always say we want people that can perform results, bring productivity, bring efficiency. But again, these people, they might have their own actually thoughts. They might have their own direction in life. So high alignment means what? The purpose in the organization is very important. Do they really buy in your purpose, or what we say, the actual meaning, okay, of your organization? They work and bring meaning, or they actually come with passion. They really like this industry, or like their profession, or they like this product. I do not know. This is important, and normally we transform this into what we put it as a vision, mission, and the core values of the companies. This is a very simple way to do it. Does these people actually believe in your vision, mission, and the core values of the company, the culture of the company? If yes, and they bring results, they hit the KPI, these are called a superstar. And we really keep people, regardless of whatever happens in the economy, in the company, you must always keep these people. Okay, even you want to close this company, you want to restart a new one, you bring all these superstars together with you. Okay, and the second one, we call it hypo. Hypo, sometimes they still at the learning stage, they're still not up to the level that you want because of their competency. This is the one that need trainings because they still didn't have the results that you want. But they believe in you, they believe in the organizations, and they really like about working with this team, working with you as a boss. And I think this will be the second category that you have to keep them and take care of them and understand whether now, how is their situation, whether they can follow you for the next 3 years. I think that would be called the high potential ones. Okay, and this one is the most challenging one. During MCO, I believe some of the bosses face this, we call it challenger. I name it challenger. Why? They bring you results. They can bring you revenue. They always, whenever things happen, they can solve the task for you. But they always misalign with you. They somehow do not believe that you are a good boss. They don't believe in the culture. Whatever new implementation, they will always go against. And this is the time that you need to spend more to talk, to communicate, and align with this challenger. They are not bad, but sometimes they don't get the right information, or sometimes their views is not being appreciated. That's why they challenge you. Okay, I think during this MCO, you face some of these challenges in organizations, but it's good for you to actually take them as for you to transform your company with a new perspective, because they give you new ideas or new dimension of their views. Okay, I think this is good. The only one that I think you shouldn't keep will be the last one, and we don't say they are not good, they are mismatch. Mismatch means they actually went into the wrong company. They actually don't feel comfortable with your culture, with the working environment, and they also don't bring result. They don't like their job. So I think this is called a mismatch. And this type of employees, we normally would like you to talk to them and let them understand it's not that you are not good, and it's not also not the company not good, but during this time of COVID, now the company wants to change a lot of the system, the policies, the structure, and you don't have the skills that we need anymore. And if you can find a right platform, right organization, and you also believe in their culture, I think that will be a better match for you. So this kind of mismatch, I don't encourage you to use the termination method, because SME in Malaysia very unique. No, we talk about guanxi. Guanxi means a lot of relationship one. We are like a family members in SME context. So when we use termination, normally it's a very bad impression of a lot of employees. They look at the boss. Wow, you terminate him. When will be me, next me? So I think mismatch is a better word to tell them. And company change, environment change, work skill need to change. And if you are not up to that, maybe you need to find a place that is suitable to you. And if we need to give some compensation, I think as a welfare, we should actually consider this. Okay, but when we tell them, we say you are a mismatch. I think that that will be a better word that I normally recommend to SMEs. Okay, I think that will be the one that you should keep. Superstar, hypo, and you are more positive ones, you can keep some challenger. But mismatch, you definitely have to talk to them and actually let them understand the situation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Howard, for sharing the slide.